but not at the speed we normally see from him. It's going to be a little rough backing away from air. The pickaxe still coming through. And again, people are playing very aggressively in this game. As the queues were closing, this is probably what we're watching right now. An effect, a W key game. But you have to wonder, when does it stop? When are people actually full committing? A nice shot from Legendary to take out the player who's chasing him, but another party comes in right after that. He does have the momentum, have the movement to actually make his way back out. So now heals up. Legendary puts himself right into the state to accept another fight through. Noka from the back, though, an RPG or possibly C4 to make this a big pitch. And I believe Noka got the elim there as Legendary shoots the pump to trade the damage, so starts that fight off really nicely. Yes, it was exactly that. And it even gets the loot from it, too.
He's got maximum materials. We talked about the man who survives every single situation. Sometimes we're not actually partaking in it. I'm curious to see if Legendary even tries to go for this next, and I would say final box fight, this King of the Hill-esque tournament happening here at Lazy Lake. As more people move in, he knows about third partying. He knows how long this fight's gone on. If he goes for another, it might just be too hot.
That it might. And just to explain the kind of concepts we're thinking about when I say committing to this game, queues are closed, and since we are a little bit delayed on what we're watching, players who may be playing aggressively might be doing it for a reason, to get into that very last queue, but the timing's slightly different than these guys are used to because it's only 300 players, and I don't think we've seen a queue system with that, except maybe at DreamHack tournaments on LAN, so different styles. Here's Droban in another fight. This is do or die because I think at this point it's a full commit for the games. And yes, the AR spray. Oh my goodness. Last bullet. Her last HP available. And Droban makes it work and also is able to heal himself way back up. And with Slurpee in tow, he's going to be able to heal back up to 200 effective HP. Mongrel still in this game, by the way, so he committed himself.
He's been having a little bit of a rockiness when it comes to ending out all these tournaments. Always has good performances up to about game 6 or 7 after that. When it comes to off spawn or just right before the top 10, doesn't actually have a say himself on what to do. Combination of third parties, unfortunate zone switches. He's trying to find a way to just translate that early lead into end game, end of the day dominance as well. And right now his loot is saying that he has the potential to get into a box fight this game and just elevate over and over again. Already one elimination high. He's looking for the next big shot to take.
Was around the top 6, top 5, right next to Benji and everybody.
Got RPG'd so many times. I'm cold? GG. I guess I'm cold?
Bowling for you, really.
Also, it's late game. He's got a delay on. Oh, yeah, he popped off. He fucking popped the fuck off. This guy's got hella mats. If you can get like a siphon pick, he's so vibing. He needs to make his way down. No way. These kids were both in the storm and neither of them had flops. Fucking idiots. No way he just takes height for free. Dude, he just hit him 5 times, chat.
Oh, fuck.
No way.
One more flipper.
No way he almost choked that. He just died. It was Aqua. just fell to his death. Oh, shit. Need to build in, buddy, and pop fucking minis. He actually might win this shit. This guy's been popping off today. We're about to witness, what's his name, get RPG spammed. Nice. You should almost go down for those fucking mats. He needs to break that tree. He needs to drop a little bit. What if the RPG blows up on the tree? Oh my god.
Die.
For 10 seconds, man. I can't be asked with this fucking nonstop. Just 10 seconds, man.
Popped off, dude.
Right now, we'll see Mobile Player once again, I would say in his natural habitat from what we saw in Game 1. All the way up on a mountain, just trying to waterfall down into a better position. This time, Rivers around him again. Will it be deja vu? Or will we see him fall? That is yet to be decided as we get a big wide shot of who's actually here. One of the top contenders who's looking to have more points accrued to be able to have a comfortable spot to play from day 2. I believe second place, BL Henyachi 32 is trying to survive as well, and he has a big loadout to play with. We talk about the jack of all trades situation, an RPG to gain height, heavy sniper to jump into boxes, and one of the two big weapons to have a say both in medium and close range, a SCAR, a pump, and there is the loadout actually in action, in work, that RPG heavy sniper combination. Bala always says it's not duos, but you can still get it done if you have enough room to play with.
These guys so good at sneaking them in. A box fight going up on high ground. It's Mongol again. He's a little bit of trouble. He needed a lot in this game to make this work, to catch up to that first spot. And Hen's gonna heavy snipe RPG it. Yes! Takes out Mongrel and ends his day. He committed to this game, slight gamble, possibly, to catch up to players just like Hen. And he will fall to a player who's above him in the standings right now. We'll have to see where that actually ends. I believe probably around 156 points for Mongrel, but that's the end of the day. Meaning, he has work to do ahead of him if he wants to catch up. If he wants to retake first place after day 2, we'll be looking at the cumulative standings to determine who wins this week. And don't forget, in EU, it's $50,000 on the line for first place.
Now we see a little bit of a rare sighting with Cavado, who we only ever see in Endgame or at the agency, but just like both those moments, he's precise, superbly accurate, and at the same time, taking big pressure and surviving it. Not even taking a shot of damage just yet. He's looking as strong as we see him in his biggest moments. And although 3 RPGs have hit his head, he is cool, calm, collected, sorting through loot, has 9 floppers to use as well. He's going to drop one of them, but oh, because of that, now finally the RPGs catch up. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence here right now. He's getting comboed through by multiple third parties. I believe this is 2 different people trying to RPG him with an AR that's also just rattling on his metal boxes. Has a lot of mats to work with, but okay, he's taken out.
And it's Refsguard, who sees the opportunity, who sees the pickle that he's in. Right down on low ground, had no room. He was basically half of his body down into the ground in terms of builds. He really had nothing to work with at all. If you're Cavado, you got to be kicking yourself, because that was, what, 7 RPGs shot by Refsguard, but he saw the potential. He saw what loot was on the ground, and even looking forward, he's back up to max materials from what he picked up, and Flopper's still available for him too. Refsguard looking good on that pickup, but Man, he invested a lot of RPGs into that one.
And I think that's some of the times we've seen Refsguard kind of just run out of gas going for these kind of, I would say, mid-tier eliminations, maybe getting a little bit too hot into these boxes earlier on, because there's some sleeper agents right now. We have Karma. We see Hen at the bottom as well. Huddy's here as well, too. And they're not making a single sound right now. They're just surveying what's going on around them. They could also have 12 rockets available in a golden RPG. The difference is they're saving it for those endgame moments, whereas people like Refsguard are guaranteeing eliminations maybe too fast.
And I was wondering if this situation was going to happen. Look at how many people are on the left side of the minimap compared to the right side. And this is a huge ravine, one of the biggest in the games to cross. So difficult situation. Bokaj is going to look all the way down and find Droban, but no launch pad in his inventory. And being up on height right now, I'm wondering if there's going to be a player who uses it up above. Possibilities are there, but that's really what basically everybody needs, though. Looking at the south side, there looks to be a path down low. Here it is. Refsguard there, Larry up there, Hen down on the bottom of this, I believe, already in zone. No, he's all the way down. He has a launch pad, so that's good. Picks up an RPG, too. Remember, he took out Mongrel earlier with the heavy sniper RPG. He still has that combo. He's going to make the huge gap, but there's so many players on the back side of this. He uses the tree to block off, though. He's so close to going down. But he does find an alcove to heal up for just a second before going up.
And yes, he makes it through, but now there's so many more people just ready to beam the late entries who are recycling these launch pads. Hen knows exactly the trajectory people took to get to his spot. Although no one else recycles it towards his position, he still has to climb up an entire mountain. There's players who didn't actually find launch pads, and the decision will now be, do we go for these easy pickups, these easy eliminations, or do you get to that mission to move up this mountain? Hen will slowly break all the way forward. Right now missing a lot of eliminations, but at the same time trying to actually find a way to play out the rest of this game, caught between a rock and a very high mountain. He's finally making the push, but it's slow. It's methodical. Now picking up one elimination made a little bit of noise. Will people find out that he's here slightly just makes it in? He can now play out the rest of this game, and it moves even more forward. Above the mountain, dropping down from it again, is going to be a waterfall scenario, and he actually trays heavy snipers on the back end of one, taking big damage, no white heals available, only 4 seconds to play around with in the storm.
And he has to get up. I see this as a very difficult situation in front of him. I think he wants to get in this box with a heavy snipe. No. So actually just going to build out to the side, uses his brick now. But still, how does he actually make this rotate? There's so many people looking at him, and Zeno will take him out. Running straight at Emoki in this game. 77 points for her. Potential to rise up in the top 80 for today with this one game. Top 26 right now. She has a launch pad to work with to get across, and she's going to use that. Goes out to the side to make sure that her head does not get blocked, and should be able to pick from a lot of nice positions here in zone, but really not too many people high up at all, so she's going to be playing down on the mid ground.
Yep, smartly skipping the most difficult part of this end game competition. She now looks to see if she can make a base in zone and turn back for those beams, for those big 4 points in Elim. But no, instead, choosing to go for possible box ups. Just make sure her base is strong. Now she's side by side with multiple players. Finally, almost has a lair of her own. No big power weapons in this loadout, so it'll have to be builds and shots she has to take. Possible high ground maneuvers available as well, but her mats are starting to run low. Now, completely out of metal. On the back end of just 200 brick, she has to find a way to refresh. 0 eliminations so far, Bala. She's only playing off of replacement so far, but finds another launch pad.
A nice launch pad, too. She opts to go past where she needs to go because the zone is going to continue to reveal low ground positions. And she does land directly on top of Kaiser, but also Faye, who does break in her box. That's going to be a fight that she might have to take. Meanwhile, Vibes on the mid ground, very high up. He's got floppers if he needs to, but this is going to start to drop off this mountain a little bit. He does get the Storm Elim on the Xeno, and that's going to be really nice as that Siphon. But then all the way down to low ground is a lot of different players thinking the same thing as we approach in the top 10.
And it's only the 7th zone, so it can bounce back right now. Fanta has control of the high ground, taking out the other Xeno who was in the game. Vibes looks to be the king of low, and no map battles down below. He has the control of the piece. It's the wall. Jason gets taken out, and Vibes is now low ground, feeling really good, controlling everything and a big abundance of maps, but I'm concerned maybe possibly overbuilding here. He now only has 5 left, a pump available, but limited options.
And he didn't actually get the refresh materials off of that. Moki finds Kura. I believe this might be right next to... There's a heavy snipe in. Oh, no! Pulled out the mini Kaiser with a big blunder by accident. And failing on the execution a little bit. Saves Vibes a little bit because he has the materials now. Shizolele and Red Rush in a fight with a minigun. They're really, really high up, but Red Rush has that grappler to make things work.
Yeah, Red Rush is trying to be as loud as possible. Now finally drops down. Too much action for him, and 2 back-to-back pumps from Vibes. The last person left alive, I believe, is Moki on height, who stays cool, calm, and collected the whole game through. 3 eliminations picked up in that end game and that victory royale.
She makes it work all the way down to the last zone. Wonderful play from Moki. We see basically a resurgence of that day 2 play that we saw from her in week number 1. And look at this game, man. It was all the way through towards the end.
It's the person that had the cleanest game so far, and now we're going to be throwing it in to see a zoom in for how NA East is going over at House Party. It's Zeke with Colazo.
Guys, we are here at House Party. We got our boy Colazo up on top, and no, it's actually not this Colazo. It's the one up top. That's right. First question right out the gate, buddy. How does it feel? Are you and Monster related? Are you guys brothers or?
I mean, he asked me at the last family.
Trying to get the fuck in on me, chat. Reload my damn shotgun. Oh my god, where the fuck did that guy come from? These are fucking psychos.
Really make any money in like the cash cups. I was much better with the team, and I still think I play better with teammates around me. Like especially like I play with Tabs and duos, and that kid Tabs G's nuts. Like he's insane, and we just got. Of course, he like lagged out of a game. His PC crashed. I got a few bugs happening, but like yeah, definitely could have gone different in heats. I love team game so much better than solos.
So, Mets werden langsam knapp. 700 Mets noch. Er muss in die Late-Game-Rotation reingehen. Flopper kann er noch spielen. Oh, er will den nächsten Gegner schitten. Unter ihm direkt einer. Mini gönnt er sich, macht sich wieder 50 HP voller. Das ist gut. Chapix One-Shot neben ihm. Das weiß er natürlich nicht, dass er One-Shot ist. Muss den Rocket Launcher nachladen. Und geht wahrscheinlich jetzt auf den Flopper-Play. Nein, macht er nicht. Er rotatet einfach rein. 8 Kills hat er schon. Top 12 Situation. Aqua ist gerade down gegangen. Wir haben es gerade gesehen. Genauso wie Tuto Hype. Chapix auch nochmal mit einer Eliminierung. Und damit ist er im Lowground. Wenig Metz nur noch. 130 Metall. Und es wird immer weniger. Top 9 Situation. Ich wette, dass er Top 8 down geht. Top 8 gerade. Muss ich den Flopper gönnen? Top 7? Top 6. Er ist Top 6 down. Wer ist noch alive? Mr. Savage. Mr. Savage ist am Leben. Wir haben Snappy. Und wir haben Russian Swaggy.
That
Sir, that's definitely sad.
Is all right, Fortnite fam. That pretty much wraps up all of EU. We are getting ready to go to a break here, and when we return, we will have the EU standings. But the biggest question is, who in NA East will perform and push on? Because don't forget, the top 80 are qualifying in through grand finals. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we can't wait to see you guys in NA East. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit.
what I'm saying? Fuck, he's going with SMG. This guy's a psycho. They'll just jump on you, bro. Like.
fucking rage quit off his stream and then turned it back on. He had like a fucking hella points.
He popped off. Yeah, he popped off in his last
He
game.
turned off his stream, hit the aimbot, and then just fucking came back. Shit.
He's actually a god of solos. I'm not gonna lie. Let's use so good solos.
Yeah, he is. Oh fuck! I didn't queue.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
Yeah, if you miss all the, there's like 300 people in this, right? I think.
Yeah.
If you missed all 3 lobbies, that would. But a lot of people dial spawn probably. So.
Fuck.
Sad.
Oh, I'm gonna have to wait a few minutes probably for people to die. Fuck, dude.
Yeah. You have to wait like 5 minutes. Oof.
Well, then again, though, like, I got
Oh, no, man, you're good. Yeah,
I was
you're
about to say, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, there's no way that like, definitely 200 people queue, but there's no way all 300. You know what I'm saying?
good. Yeah, that's true.
There's no way.
Also, if you miss the first 3 games, then you get into the game with all the people who died off spawn, so it'll be hard tilted.
Yeah, that'd be fucking shit. Holy shit. Alright, so I have 10 games, right?
Yeah, 10 games.
Alright.
Sure. I want to move this.
I got 0 ping, Benji. Let's go.
Yeah, 0 ping? Wait. Oh, yeah, wait, how much,
No, it's
how much ping
troll.
you got? Oh,
It's a
fuck.
troll.
I remember you were on 0 ping at one point. I remember like
I was on like 10, yeah. In
Yeah.
Jersey. But even there, it wasn't that good. Like, I feel like it's like if you don't have that ping where you can like yoink walls first try, it's just kind of you know.
Yeah, I mean, average ping isn't
So much good.
Yeah, you just get like 0 to 5. That's when it like actually matters.
Mhm. Well, all the fucking NA East players are on like 0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
They all moved and shit.
In EU, you have to be in Frankfurt. Right, like even
Yeah.
in UK.
That's in
you
Germany,
get,
right?
Yeah. Even in UK, you still get like 20 ping.
Yeah, that's kind of fucking ass.
Take to your
Drops.
left, see if anyone's contesting quickly.
I don't think there is anybody. My
Yeah,
drop's
yeah.
ass though.
You should be chilling.
Oh, we're chilling.
Oh, you got good chest. Nice.
I don't think so.
Especially, yeah, hold on. I'm pretty sure it's in that top chest. Yeah, you go on.
No way.
Chilling. It's the RNG that I fucking give you, bro. I'm not even trying. I get a good chest like every game.
Oh!
Oh my god, you're so
What?
chilling. That's so good.
It's only because you're here, dude. I wish use this blue tack to kill these AIs.
You need to get Storm Surge. Oh my god. Wait, you're gonna have good loot.
Yeah, my loot's nuts.
Yeah. You're gonna need to get Storm Surge this game, most likely.
Yeah.
People's first game, everyone's scared, so they went try fight.
Little side grade action.
You're gonna. Oh my god, you've gold scar, gold tech, heavy sniper, 6 minis. Whew.
Shit. Trying to think where I should get storm surge. Krieger houses or something.
Yeah, maybe you can go Frenzy. Oh, nice, big pot. Check zone quickly.
Far as fuck
Nah,
south.
yeah. I don't think anyone in Craggy will be like hard fighting. They'll probably just want to go zone.
fuck.
Oh, that's that's so good. If you can get 3 big pots, 6 minis, that's so nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Right here, big pot.
Oh, shitting.
Fuck, I kind of want to look in real quick.
Yeah, you can check it. Don't stay for too long because you want to get a good spawn zone.
Fuck, the zone is ass.
Yeah. Should be changed. Just check there. Might have to get a free kill. Yeah, maybe rotate towards frenzies. People might be fighting there.
Yeah.
You should just try to get a few tags. You might even get like Storm Surge second zone, 70 live. If you're unlucky.
I should be able to get snipes though, like.
Yeah, you get a snipe at some point if you look for people.
No way. Oh my god.
Oh.
Should I take that? I think I shouldn't.
Yeah. Up to you. I mean, they're both really good. It's just personal preference.
Yeah.
3 big
When a
snarl.
controller player jumps in my box, you know?
Yeah.
I just spam the attack. I'm waiting for it. There's so many controller players nowadays, dude.
Yeah,
Holy.
it's like every other game you get hard beamed by someone.
I'm getting beamed for show.
Even if you get beamed, you're chilling. 3 big 6 minis. I think shield is like, out of retail, all I want is if I can get 3 big 6 minis, it's so nice, man. I don't even care about my guns really, because if you can just get in game with like full HP, and that's literally all you need.
For real.
So yeah, you've got a god load out.
I do.
You see the headshot snipe someone with a launch pad.
I got you. I don't know how warmed up I am today, but you know.
Yeah, it's just your warm-up game. On EU, top 80 was, it was like 95 point.
Yeah.
So the qual over the 2 days, you're so like guaranteed you need like 200.
Yeah.
You'll be chilling. Okay, so I've got that.
Surprised this guy's not gonna try to beat me through a window or something.
He might try to go on the roof.
This is gonna be an absolute shit show in this area.
Yeah, you can just keep going center until you start getting shot or something. There'll be a lot of people here you can get Storm Surge on there. It might be worth going to the left after you go through the bridge to get a brick. Oh my god. That was so close to being a headshot snipe. No, you need like 250 brick. You know the brick farm like southeast of you? Probably good to that.
I bet I can
Like
find
by
some
the
shit on
river.
the way, right?
Yeah, I guess you can do that.
Fuck, dude. I wish I would've domed that kid. Give him a haircut.
No go there. In front of you. That's me. probably just go into lazy and maybe replace the house or something. Maybe you can get the center building.
Yeah.
If they're getting soon.
Fuck, should I look back where I rotated from to see if I can get tags?
I'll say keep going towards lazy. I'm pretty sure
This guy doesn't get lucky again.
Oh.
Fuck! I haven't got shit for tags, bro.
It's 70 alive. You've still got another, like, you've got a while before
There we
you...
go.
Oh, nice! That's so good.
That is nice.
Let's get a cat brick from these rocks over here. That's a god rock.
Hello and welcome back to the FNCS Invitational. I'm your host Zeke, and joining us to kick off this round of NA East, we've got Monster D-Face, we've got Clay, and we're getting ready to get into all of the Fortnite action. Now, of course, gentlemen, we got to take a second here, because we just wrapped up EU. We need to take a look at the standings and see who was at the top of day number 1 in EU. The games were fierce. We saw plays. We saw old meds kit plays in the middle of the storm, full dedicated 10 seconds. Never thought I'd be seeing those again. But yet here we are, Monster. It's like we're reliving the old days.
Yeah, I mean, the meta is always constantly shifting. The players come up with surprising plays all the time. And it's just like that, a shocker to the leaderboard as well, as Noah comes up out of nowhere. And Leshy, you got to think about it, 2-second place performances in back-to-back weeks. The consistency is there, Clay.
It is, and it is insane to see him at the top there. Back-to-back second places. Absolutely insane. But we also got to talk about everybody else on this list. A big name in the European region as well. We're going to move into the 11th to 20th. Also big names. Got to point out Mr. Savage coming back from 34 points to 144.
I mean, look at the newcomers. Players like Vidil, heavy elimination fraggers, 28 elims carrying him on the back right there, just off of how many players he can drop. And I mean, you see the OGs in here. You see Castery from the opens, right? A lot of players to look out for. Exciting players. Here's your 21st through 30th. Players like Endilix, champions. Players like Kinzel, Mitro, still making a name here. You have Tayson, right? These are all legends in the kind of competitive scene for the EU region. All off to a great start. 128 points is your 30th place cutoff. But still, more importantly, how good are you? Did you get top 80? Can you remain this consistent? These are the players that are going to be kind of nervous coming into next or tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. Those nerves could get the better of you.
That's right, man. We see it. 96 points is that threshold heading into tomorrow. And that is after tiebreakers, by the way. So that is going to be a nice snapshot to take into tomorrow. That is the number we got to keep our minds in. 96. That's all we need. All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and talk about the show itself. Maybe there's some newcomers that are coming on. Hello, hope you've had a great day. Great to see you here from NA East. Let's talk about the broadcast and what you should expect as a viewer. We'll go ahead and touch on the tournament format itself. Not that long ago, we ran an open qualifier round where 100 players were allowed to compete and would move on to week number 1. That was last week. From there, only 300 players moved on, and that was players that were invited via FNCS Grand Finalists, as well as content creators. Now we are in week number 2, where only 80 will push through to Grand Finals. Next Friday, we will see the reboot round. That is players who have not pushed through to Grand Finals. They will have a second shot, and after 10 games, 20 of them will qualify into Grand Finals, joining the 80, and after 12 games, we will have ourselves FNCS Invitational Champions. Let's go ahead and talk about the schedule, Now, don't forget, games are running all day long across all kinds of regions. We will be covering EU and NAE, so same time tomorrow. Please do come back if you want to check out some of that cool Fortnite action. Now, of course, the next thing we're going to talk about here is the format itself. How are these guys racking up the points? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward. The Victory Royale itself is worth 33 points, and every single elimination is worth 4. Now, you can still get points for as far out as 75th place, so there's still points to be earned as you place up there higher and higher and higher. Now, of course, guys, placing Grand Finals, FNCS Champion, FNCS Invitational Champion, all great things. But don't forget, there's also prize money on the line every single week. Last week, we saw some of that divvied out. This week, we will see more of it. And of course, in finals, there will be even more than that. To take a look, here is your breakdown per region. Guys, I mean, you know, if EU is any indication of what we should expect out of NA East, and NA East has honestly been on fire. This is something I joke about every week. Like, I'm always speaking out into existence. NA East, bring the heat. I'm very excited to get into these games. What do you think, Monster? Like, how much do you think NA East is going to do anything differently? I hope, like, listen, NA East, just keep running it back. Bring the heat. That's what I want. Right, Monster? That's what you want, Monster. Isn't that right?
So, yeah, the caliber of player in EU, the caliber of player in NA East, they rival one another. NA East, we all know the profiles as he kind of falls out there, but it's the profiles, right, Clay? It's the profiles, the high player, kind of the names, right, that we see. They bring the excitement.
And I hope they bring it today. I also maybe want to see another medkit play. Let's see if anybody can learn from Vashoki over here in EU. Let's see what NA East has got. But like you talked about, the big name hitters, how are they going to do?
And I was just going to say, talking about the medkit, think about the difference in timing. You saw the format and how it breaks out. 2 places from 3rd to 2nd to 4th. Those are like 4 points worth of elimination, right? So every single placement matters. Every second matters. You got to bite into that time sometimes.
That's right. Well, gentlemen, it's time to kick off the competition here in NA East. Take us off the battle bus. Take it away.
That's right. We're jumping into game number 1 of the NA East coverage. This is week 2, guys. Welcome back to the show. It's Noble Beef, who we're kind of hopping in with right here, who doesn't have a weapon. Okay, so he's finally going to find an SMG. Quite interesting. Looks like he's on a shambles kind of loot route here, a scavenger loot route, as my friend Sundown would like to call it. And some players nearby. And here's a popular spot. That one guy, Luca, who's over in the kind of weather station area, popularized by Booga, is one of his landing spots here. This is a tough fight to be in, too. No shield for Luca.
No shield indeed.
Oh, and it is.
Speaking of him, there he is, Booga, right on top. Popularized by him, you know, made a very, very good drop spot, known to everybody. Let's see how he plays it out.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of tough. Just location. It's no surprise that he lands here either. He's been doing it for, you know, the entirety of the chapter 2. So we'll see, though. He's backing up right now, and he's going to get tagged. Oh, no. And he trades back. So these are 2 players that now recognize the weakness of health, the lack of shield from one another. It's going to be a matter of who's going to make the decision first to move up. Booga is on the back foot here, actually, because he doesn't have anywhere to farm, considering where he's kind of located now, being that he backed up first. So, all right, now giving up the kind of height here. Oh, gosh, his back's against the wall, Clay. This is looking very, very close.
It's close indeed, but I wouldn't put any other player in a situation that we expect to come out. Booga, that solo World Cup champion, looking to capitalize on it. That one guy, Luca, though, has the HP advantage, is running out of ammo, and shots come through. He is going to find Booga out, so Booga out game number 1 with no eliminations or no points at all.
Good angles from Luca right there, and what a huge accomplishment for him to kick things off with 4 points, taking down one of the most notable players in Fortnite competitive history. Luca, we'll see if he can continue to dominate the weather station. We'll see if Booga can bounce back. That's the story that's unfolding here today. We talk about people that are bouncing. It's Vanish Bank. The Vanish team has been on the uprise. A lot of players that are just popping off in Fortnite competitive, especially in the NA East region. Here, take a look. He's got the Musicals rifle, too. So he just came off of that same area where Booga and Luca were battling out.
Yeah, like Jock, right, as well on Team Vanish. But this is the only heavy AR that I actually like seeing on players. That Meowsicles rifle, so good. Able to just do so much more damage than a normal heavy AR. There's, we see Vanish Kaz here as well, another Vanish player rotating around nearby Nobu Beef, who we saw earlier. I think the reason he actually ended up not having any guns there, Monster, was because he found a llama. So already off to a better start than some of the players in the lobby.
Definitely feeling that. As we jump in with another, it's Kaz here, who's doing pretty well for himself right now. And you can see Bank cutting across the one elimination, the single elimination, pretty good. I'm liking his loadout right now. The blue pump sending him off really strong here. He's got all the spare shield to kind of back him up as well. And he is just looking like he's setting himself up for success. But take a look at your mini map there, Clay. There is someone cutting straight into his loot path. Little does that player know that Bank is so loaded. Like, he's ready for war right now. He's got his guard down. This player is sneaking up behind him. He's dangerously close. Misses the heavy sniper, though. And that's the danger of trying to open up with a heavy sniper. It's the risk versus reward. You don't hit it, now you lose your element of surprise. And it's a clean game. It's a clean 1v1 here. Bank, with the quick edits, though, gives up the height now. He's back into the box. It's a little box battle we got going on.
Little box battle indeed. As we see in the elimination feed, Stretch actually going to take, I believe, Cadrin down as a heavy snipe into the box coming through. Bank looks like he's going to be able to finish on off and get the elimination there. So it seems like Bank able to make it work and make it happen.
All right, here's Mr. God Pump now. We're jumping across the sweaty sands. See Tekhe off in the distance here. This just gives us a little opportunity to really catch up and understand the lay of the land right now. How players are landing, how players are situating and setting themselves up here in this early game. I'm loving this kind of loadout right here. You talking legendary AR, and look, he's using that camera angle to peek in on what might be Tekhe right there, right? Rotating up the street now, who's farming up. This is a little ambush play. This is strategy, as Shio will like to call it. Let's see, though. We know how camera angles can play to your benefit. He is playing off his back footing here. He's not moving a single inch right now. Tekhe's going to walk into home, and it's the ADS aiming down sight with the shotgun. He finds the 99. So he knows this player is virtually on death's door now, and that's a shield crack. That's the HP. He can only reasonably have less than 70 health now, and it doesn't matter. He jumps in, and Tekhe gets taken out.
Yeah, brilliant play there from God Pump. Just waited, did not move, did not even think about making any sort of movement. Saw that he was going around, heard it, realized, hey, you know what? I can get that initial damage tag off. He's got that rare tactical shotgun in a really good spot now as well. Loaded on up. Actually doesn't even need any of the loot. Is going to leave behind the one flopper for the 2 medkits, which I think is definitely the better play there. But flopper's a lot easier to get on rotation from other eliminations. We'll see what God Pump decides to do. It looks like he's sitting center map and just going to sit and wait. After that elimination, very, very, very good spot here for him.
It's kind of interesting, right? There's a lot of pro players out there that would contest the idea of, you know, taking 2 medkits over even a single flopper. We value the flopper so much because of how fast you can heal. We'll see if he ends up regretting it or if it plays into his favor here. But that Elam right there, Clay, honestly set him up for success kind of wildly here if you think about it. He just got capped off on all material. Now he has this big base to kind of play around, and he's got excess loot to kind of fall back on. So that is going to be a good come up, a great kind of situation for him. And he has zone now. So we're jumping over with Mars here, who's fighting in the zone. He's going to find Has the Great with a big shot. This is a little bit of like rivalry between Mars and a lot of the other competitive players as a solo player. Specifically, Mars has been around for a long while. And yeah, pros and himself, there's always banter. There's always kind of friction going on here. So for him to take out Has the Great right now, I'm sure we're going to see, we're never going to hear the end of it. But we'll play for him. He's kind of bouncing up here. Good start, 4 eliminations or 4 points off of the Elam now. He's got this kind of agency area to himself now.
Yeah, he's got a good rotation too as well, with zone not being too far. Really good elimination, just knew his surroundings, knew he could take the fight. Knew he already had him low. He had the slurpfish in his inventory just in case he wanted to take it there. But getting the elimination on Has, like you talked about, we'll probably see it on Twitter, right? A little back and forth beef coming through. As we do see Assault going to take down Merkin Newell. So big elimination there from Assault. We do see zone closing. It's probably going to pull a little bit more southwest, and it does. So Mars does have a far rotation to make, but that flopper and the surface are going to give him a little bit of confidence there.
It's going to give him the bonus, going to give him the boost to kind of get out of here alive and give him enough time, too, to finish wrapping up these loadout spots. Let's see here. Zypha playing the bush right now. And I think the bush is just grossly underrated, kind of estimated in these games, right? You don't spend any material if you're sitting in it. You have the element of surprise for someone that crosses through. As long as you're conscious of where you're at, you can save yourself a ton of mats. As Zypha does right here. And honestly, he doesn't even have that much material. Like, look at him. He's kind of He's kind of not set up. He needed this Elam. It's going to be Sizz Lucky. He chips over the top right there. Bye-bye Sizz Lucky now. He's going to be able to grab all the loot too.
What a just heads up play there from Zypher to realize, hey, you know what? That's a player right there. Let me just give it a little tap, and he does end up taking him down. As we swap over, you see Unknown in a Weeping Woods just trying to get involved here on this player. And you see this is Unknown standard practice, using the natural cover to his advantage to try to get any sort of beam. And he's got that epic burst rifle there. This is exactly what he wants. Does only get one tag, though, as now he's starting to go in. We'll see. Continues to put the pressure, and it seems like he wants to due to his lack of ammo. I think Unknown really trying to capitalize on that tag. It was only a 23 damage, but more damage being taken than it is being dealt. Unknown does do a good amount back, but Mystic was already so low in the fight that Unknown going to be good. Hopping into the box, shots coming on through. Unknown trying to follow. He is going to get the cone and get the elimination as well. Mystic going down. Unknown taking that one.
Yeah, and I mean, we know Unknown is a frag-heavy type of player. He came 77th overall points last week just based off of eliminations alone. So should he just connect the dots and make some endgame, he's going to be big chillin'. Here's Jamper up on FaZe Bizzle's territory right now. Bizzle's going to kind of react here with a shot from the low ground. Great peek. As we now have a good old-fashioned fight right now. Bizzle still not giving up control of the situation. Now, Jamper with a great edit right there. He's going to throw the cone inside or the ramp inside the base and now put the pressure back on. Bizzle successfully holds him off. Can he stay alive long enough? These are not the fights Bizzle likes. Bizzle tends to struggle in these early game fights. This is not his play style, and that is exactly why. He just performs better in late game rotation to capitalize, but Jamper's going to find Bizzle sleeping right there as he goes on the counter offensive edit, gets taken out the game.
And as we see Commandment rotating in, right on the player, Snipe gonna connect and get the elimination just like that. Bizzle goes down. Hoofishy goes down as well. Commandment cleaning up the opportunity very, very beautifully there.
Commandment had a dominating last week. I mean, his day 2 performance wasn't the greatest. He kind of fizzled out, but just shows you how much of an upswing he has. There's so much potential for players like Commandment who have been around the scene for so long, but have never quite taken the full-on kind of, for some reason, he's underrated, right? He's not thrown in too many, kind of top 5s and top 10s. I feel like he's slept on so much, and these are the weeks that he's got to prove himself more so ever now than ever to show that he's relevant, and he has been around for a long time. He's always pulled up big performances. So we talk about that. We jump with Stretch now. We had a great performance just coming in. So he's on a little bit of a hot streak himself here.
He is indeed. As you see the RPG in the inventory there, looking quite good. He's got in-game loot. This is what I like to call it. Set up in a good spawn zone. He's got the harpoon. He's got a good AR, good tac, good pump. And he also has that RPG, that impact weapon. He can solo RPG and then harpoon to get that impact onto them as well. A lot of different creative plays we can see Stretch do here. I'm excited to see what he does as he's going to go ahead and early rotate into the next zone.
I just want to show you guys the difference between like a player like Stretch, who came 2nd overall with placement points for, his last week performance, and a player like Unknown Army, who had 77th place, but they had just about the same amount of eliminations. So just showing you that Stretch overall, picking up as many frags, but more end games, is why he's up at the top of the board right now. So we talk about frags here. Assault's going to open house here on someone who's crossing the river. Okay, playing a little patient now. Just using him to get this free rotate. And just look at the map. It's like a train of players kind of cutting across here. Everyone wants to find their way to the zone now. And this is like NA East fashion. NA, always the slower pace coming in, always the more congested. But it doesn't matter when it's a good opportunity like this. Players like Assault are going to open up. Comes a shotgun follow-up, and it's so good, so clean. Kaz gets taken out by Assault.
And that was just textbook. You just wait for that moment. It hits and the impact goes, and there's the elimination. Assault going to get a lot of RPG ammo there as well. And then just continue about his way. As if nothing ever happened. Just got a nice little refresh. Going to continue moving on in. You do see Agers there in front of him as well, trying to make it in. We'll see if Assault decides to get involved with any of that. But going to swap over here to show you Jace and then Zate. Zate barely making it in. We'll see how he does today, Monster.
That is true. Just look at his situation right now. Clearly, he walked away victorious with all the shark loot. And I mean, without a single eliminations means that he probably just grabbed it and dipped out. We don't know how contested it's going to be here and who's going to be giving him kind of the problems over there. But this is going to be someone we are going to want to look out for, see what his journey is going to play out like in this first game here that we're highlighting. Don't forget, guys, top 80 move on over the kind of consistency of the next 2 days. It's about today. It's about tomorrow's performances. And the 80 will be your grand finalists. The reboot round will take 20 more slots in the air for, the players that don't qualify through week 1 and 2. So that's the stakes. That's what's on the line. Forget the money, the pricing that you can earn. It's about grand finals, about proving you're the best. That's why these players compete.
It is indeed. And one of the perks now, that Fortnite Championship Series axe that everybody gets. So you'll see it in some of these players, when they pull it out there. We'll hop over here to Bully, who currently in his box right now, looking really good. Is set up on the edge of zone, though, with a lot of other players. He's going to have a really congested rotate. I don't see a launch pad as an inventory. That's going to be very concerning, as well as his mat count. He's lacking on the hard materials there, especially in that break category. As zone closes, we'll see exactly where it ends up going, and it is going to pull away from them. So they do have a good-ish rotate. It's not that far, but with everybody else on that side, this is going to get hairy really quickly.
Clarity's got to be careful when you poke your body up out of that cone. Sometimes the pixels do show themselves off, so he can get some damage in return. This is the congested, look, the layer that we're kind of staring at. You have Azers up above, someone who's been trying to make his identity separate from, just being the duo partner of players like Innocence. Velocify's got his attention here on Clarity. Let's see, though. He kind of needs this elim. He needs it for the ammunition. He needs it for the material count. It's not just for the points right now. He's kind of in a tight spot to be in. The floppers he can punish back, but Clarity's going to get the best of him now, and he's off to scramble. All of a sudden, the peeking was not worth it. But look, he wakes up the house. He wakes up the neighbors. You see players like Azers and others now jumping in, trying to get a piece of the action. Velocify does bounce back, though. Finds a moment here. Did he learn his lesson? No, Clay. Did he learn his lesson? No, he did not. He's going to find Bully. Bully tries to make the first rotate and gets punished for it. And now Velocify jumps in the box of Clarity G. And it's a 2-for-1 special. Those are all his mats now to gain and the ammunition from it.
Yeah, Velocify really needed one impact frag, but he ended up picking up 2 eliminations there. And that's exactly what, it's more than what he needed, right? You said 2-for-1 special, that he needed 1, and there you go. Picking up those 2 elims is going to be really good, especially for total points, as well as we move over here to Deegan as he's trying to get some shots on the back player here. Does get a 74 tag, but continuously falling down. He really needs this elimination. As you see, only 48 builds remaining here for him, and he's going to, unfortunately, because of his own, have to give it on up.
It is true, but I mean, he's down to his metal, the better material to have in this situation here. So let's see, he's cutting out. He's now just close, just barely there to the zone here. He's got another kind of inching up to do. Reloading, taking this opportunity of safety to get all his material back in count. The fact that he's capping off just for that, 9 HP off the mini there shows that he's not taking any risks, not taking any chances. Wants to be at the full health here. As Masef's gonna find Mikey there. Massive, the big elim for him. The feed is lighting up. I see Stowe in this lobby as well there. What is Dijin gonna do? He's probably gonna open up with his heavy sniper right here. If he can get this player to drop down, that could be huge.
It could be huge indeed. You see the intelligence gathering there, like we talked about over in the European region, trying to find any sort of information that he can. As we're back over here to Jace, who does have the mythic AR there and the grappler. So got the rewards of Shark, did not get any eliminations, but you're seeing the punishment he took for it. Not a lot of mats and not a lot of HP.
Yeah, this is tough. As he's got the max distance draw here. He has to cut all the way across. He's going to try and focus that player who was holding high. But because of that, he gets targeted in return. Launchpad's going to go off behind him. Maybe it's too late to turn around. So he's going to have to pop his own, and he does a short pad. Love how he sets that one up to make sure he's not exposing himself in the air for too long. And then pulls out the grappler to take height. He hops in someone's box, and he's going to successfully find it. It's going to be Fuzzy who is up top. And oh my gosh, that was so clean.
And that threw me back to the season 5, 4 days when everyone had the grappler. You'd hop in the box, you see those clips happening. We also want to point out, I believe I saw Stretch going down there as we were hopping on board that elimination. So big name out of the lobby. You still have players though like Clicks, like Zate, like Jamper here trying to make it their game. With in zone, I was gonna say, has yet to pop the med kit, is now going to. He's in a good spot, right? 76 builds is not bad. He's on the edge of zone. He doesn't have that bad of a rotate, but he's gonna have to make something work because he's got Zayton Clicks right next to him. It's gonna be very interesting. Now he does have a launch pad, which is really good here for him.
You forget, Jamper's coming off somewhat of a hot streak, performing really well in the FNCS duos. He came top 50, not too bad, just shy of the 50, and there you have it. It's for shots like that. He's gonna catch Severe there with a big pump shotgun shot and take him out the lobby. But Jamper on the up and coming here, but Clicks is gonna get hit with the RPG shotgun combo, and now he is in a desperate situation. No HP, zone on his back, cutting across. He needs to give himself some space between these enemies here. Will Clicks be able to stay alive long enough? We hear heavy snipers coming out now from Bank. He's gonna take the wall. He has control of this. There goes the cone. Good piece control now. He's fighting when he should be rotating right now, trying to see what he can find. He's not gonna give this player an opportunity. Bye-bye to another now as he finds the drum gun, floppers, and everything that he needs to cut out and stay alive here. Bank is chilling right now.
He is indeed, and I think he knew the mythic drum gun was there, which is why he really wanted to go for it. You see him launching through the air there, now getting into zone. Jamper with some nice build over the top of his head. But he's running out of matches. He's going to have to hop into some of those boxes very quickly. So he does have the tools to do that. He does have that epic shotgun. He does have the harpoon. He can get in, but shots continuously being taken here by Jamper is all of a sudden not looking really good. He does have enough minis to pop it back up to fighting HP, but it's not looking too good. We do see Commandment going to pick up an elimination. Launch pad going to be used, and this is where he can hop onto somebody that's landing. I think this might be where he does it. Shot's going to come through, and he is. He's going to take down Icy there. A nice elimination, and he's going to pick up the Brutus minigun.
Such a nice Elam, like you just pointed out. My gosh, landing in, and he needed it so bad. He needed that kind of refresh right there. He's in the running now. I love that he's leveling up his layer here. He's working his way up and over the mountain. Turning back on the zone with a minigun is not something you see very often in solos, but hey, he's pointing out the effectiveness of it. Just the pressure in its own is so scary. And now Jamper's on the run here. Running out of material though. He needs a big one, and he's gonna find it. Cartoon Paul gets erased from the lobby. The material count goes into Jamper's favor now. He has enough to once again tunnel his way through the low ground here. Clay.
That Commandment though, unfortunately going down, as well as Graska. Hides elimination there onto Timbers as you see him fall down. Unfortunately, Zate falling as well. Cow take him down, player in his box. Jamper doesn't care. He's taking him down as well. Another elimination there for Jamper, now sitting on 6. We'll see if he's going to be able to get 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 eliminations here. 7 players remaining, including Jamper here. He's running out of hard mats. He's only got 5 builds remaining, but this Brutus minigun being very well. We talk about piece control. That was excellent uses of it there, and that's another elimination. Uzi going down. Jamper now on 7 eliminations. We'll see if he's going to be able to clutch up the win.
He's here to make a name for himself, make it ever so more right now. Jamper's on fire, finds another shot here. It's Frisk the Light who gets taken out. This is his lobby here, but now he falls 3rd place. So well done by him. Here's Bank versus Jafe now. Bank in the low ground here. This is Jafe's game to win, especially with the fact that he has the weapons. He has everything he needs and the builds to do it. The pressure, though, he's running out. He has to go down and eventually make this a shotgun fight. Here it is. It's a build-off. Bank's going up for height. He doesn't know that he has the grapple, though. He can always come back. Good usage of the harpoon, though, Clay. One shot is all it's going to take, and he finds it. Bank gets taken out.
And you said it was good usage of the harpoon just to drop him down. Chase played that so beautifully. Didn't even need the grappler at the end of it, and he picked up the victory royale.
GG's. Well played. It's a good game there, Zeke. That was a tough one right there. I mean, we saw it. We saw Jamper just rampaging through everything.
Yeah, that was very reminiscent of EU games, right? Like people like IDOT who were just running through and finding eliminations. Now, of course, big congratulations to Jafe. Really quickly, I do want to kind of double back and talk about Jamper, but we're going to set that aside for 1 second. Jafe, how did he pull off this win? Because we tuned in mid-game, and Clay was the one that called it out. He had Shark Loot. but he didn't have anything, no builds, hardly any ammo, and no HP, yet still pulled off the unthinkable and got the victory royale.
I mean, just from reviewing that game in its own, the pivotal moment was that half and half out, that full rotate across. When he launch padded, and it was risky launch pad, he spent a lot of seconds on the storm there, but he came in and then he grappled up for height. He recognized the kind of dangerous position that he was in, running out of material, running out of ammunition. That impact frag, that was like, you put a star on it. He took height, he took someone out, he got points, and refreshed all the way up to the top. That was his moment of success right there.
I agree, and he got the Brutus minigun there as well. And we saw him use that so perfectly as a solo on low ground. Like Monster said, you don't really see people looking back into zone with it when you're on solo low ground, but he made it work.
That's right. It's that kind of innovative play that's going to give someone an edge. And like you said, Monster, that gold star, that's what was his turning point. Now, I want to kind of double back and talk about Jamper, because again, this is very IDOT reminiscent, right? Yeah, he didn't get the victory royale, but he placed third and was racking up eliminations left and right. I mean, it looked almost like a pub game from his perspective.
I mean, players like even Hen, right? Players that just had these pop-off moments. That's what propelled them and gave them the solidifying distance in that early game. iDrop was tearing up kind of his whole, you know, thing, right? He was also picking up a lot of elims. I think he picked up like 10 maybe. So Jamper was on par with a great performance. You talk about placement points matter in this format. For every 2 placement points in the top 10, every 2 positions, that's worth an elimination. He picked up the majority of the eliminations there, effectively kind of like doubling over what a victory royale would be. So it's kind of like he won that game in his own right.
You'll like to see. This is what we're in for. This is what NA East is bringing to the table. This is the action we are looking for. Of course, guys, we are getting ready to hop into the next game. Now, gentlemen, something very unique about this game is that this game was actually happening at the same time as the game we just watched. And it's going to shake up the story quite a bit. So let's go ahead and hop into the next game of NA East with Monster Defense and Clay.
Thank you, Zeke. And just to kind of clarify for everyone tuning in from home, guys, these lobbies are all happening in parallel to one another. It's all kind of unfolding right now. We're going to tune in with Emad, who sets up a very interesting kind of drop spot right here. I love that. That's what you call a calculated play to kind of propel himself way down the mountain here, Cliff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how he did that, I'm going to be honest with you, but he knows his drop spot well. What I'm worried about is there's already a player on top of him, and you see he does have the tactical shotgun and the small shields there, but he hasn't taken them. This might be an issue here for him, but he does pick up a harpoon as well, and if he wants to get crazy with it. This player on top already at a disadvantage. Emad fighting most of the loot. Mouse is running around, but the cat is going to find him. Emad getting the elimination.
Hey, listen, Mouse is going to have to hit the VOD right there. He's going to have to go back in time and figure out why is it that Emad was able to touch down, have a weapon before he can even, you know, settle into the game. Before we get there, let's take a look at your right side here. Put your focus there. The Victory Royale, 33 points. This is your format and how players are accruing points. This is the structure and how it all breaks down. Each elimination is worth 4 big points. We're now jumping in with Donnie here, Clay. Donnie's got the height. He's got the mountain. He's tailing someone. He's chasing someone down right now.
He is, and he looks like he's already got information on their HP. A shot's not going to connect there on the Donnie. Looks like he does actually end up taking a little bit of damage. He's going to pop the small shields there. Continuous pressure from down below. Going to cause him only to get one of them off, and now going to be about 135 effective HP. Math could be a little bit off there, but you get the point. He's at a decent HP. Don't know what the other player is, and he's trying to get the wall. He is not going to do it, but the shotgun's not going to connect. Predator going to be gotten out there, and a very, very nice play there from Donnie, just capitalizing on the damage he's already done.
It just makes you wonder, kind of, where did this whole battle begin? They kind of was very much drawn out. Here, cutting across the field, you can see all the builds. So Donnie is going to work hard for that one. It's going to set him back a little bit here, but it's okay. The battle is going to kind of go into his favor. I mean, we touched base with Colazo before we jumped in. We were in that house party call. Colazo was kind of warming up while we were in there, Clay, right? He was kind of getting ready for the day. He spoke about being, you know, able to perform under these kind of high caliber lobbies and how it plays into his benefits. Let's see now, as this is the first engagement of many that will happen over the course of the weekend. How is he going to play it? He looks very aggressive to me here.
He does, and this doesn't seem like the closet we talked about and talked to. said, you know what, he didn't want to hop into player's box, but he did say he was going to hop in with the SMG, and unfortunately hopped in with the SMG, but switched to that tack, and that's going to cost him a lot of HP. No, he does have the big shield, so he can recover from this. The other player also heavily damaged as well. Colosso trying to trade shots as a typical box fight engagement here. We'll see. He does have the decoys in there. Could get crazy with him. Nice edits out to the side. Realizes he owns that wall, but the edit, unfortunately, not going to hit there. But Colosso, with the smarts here in this fight, should be able to capitalize on this unless the other player is able to get that advantage on him. Colosso looking to pop the big shields now. The continued pressure from above. He's trying to get lost in all of these builds. The edit coming through. He's got to be very, very careful with that. I don't believe all of those walls are his, as we do see Ibako on the other side and another player right nearby, Zeno, coming on in for the third party. This could spell very, very badly for Colosso.
He needs this Elim so bad before he gets taken from him, because he also needs the Siphon here to stay in the running. Can he find the one shotgun shot he needs? They're both on Death's door right now. It's only going to take one. He does get it, and he ends the fight with just enough time to bounce back. As you see, Zeno backs off now, respecting the engagement. Colosso, it's so interesting we got to watch that fight. I mean, we just had a little piece of insight of what he was thinking and what he thinks when he's in these games. But okay, we jump over now. We're on the other side of the map here. It's Okers who's fighting. He's also pressuring a player down now. There it is. Let's take a look now. Okay, he's trying to piece control this here, Clay.
He is, and we talked about it time and time and again. In these box fights, it's so important to take little pieces by little pieces. It's literally a chess match between you and your opponent. Do you have this piece? Do they have this piece? Right now, Oker's not actually getting any of the pieces that he needs to. I believe Legend Ian, the player that he's signing down below, is he going to catch him off guard there with the shot? Not going to be able to. The wall going to be built in time. Trying to go in. He's running out of shotgun ammo as well. He needs to try to utilize something else in his inventory. Shots coming through, like taking a lot of damage, and the switch there going to cost him that elimination, as Legend Ian going to come out on top.
And both of those players did not have a lot of ammunition, or builds, you should say. If you think about it, when a player gets eliminated, they generate 150 material. That's 15 builds, which shows you that with only 21 builds in Legend Ian's kind of loadout there, he was also struggling. Now here's Perplexy from the team BH. A lot of creative warriors in here. These are players that kind of spend their time in the build battling. Let's see how Perplexy is going to play it out here. Box fights are where players like Perplexy do tend to shine here. And he's got the Slurpfish, too, to bounce back. This is very reminiscent of what would be a good old box fight warm-up. Let's take a look. He's got the tactical to kind of back it up, too, so he can jump in the box. He's going to find the whites right there, which means this player doesn't have shield. And Zum's going to get taken out real quick now. And Perplexy does have another issue to worry about. There's someone else rolling up to this fight. But lucky for him, he is going to grab the legendary pump shotgun shot now. And can he put it to use here? It's FaZe Sway. We just talked about players that are about creative fights, about box fighting, and Sway gets deleted with a 199 shot. He was on 1 HP, Clay.
That was impeccable from Perplexy. Played it perfectly. Went ahead and boxed out into a new box. Waited for Sway to attack him and then capitalized because he knew he owned everything there. Very, very good play there from Perplexy to capitalize on a mistake by Sway.
Man, Sway, the aggressive kind of performance that he put into the open quals, the semi-consistent performance he put into last week to get here today, I think it's only been proving more and more difficult as the competition caliber kind of steps up. How hard it is to actually seal the deal on elims. You get punished so much by these top-tier competitors. They're not here to mess around. They will punish you. Class, another player who has a very, very nice loadout. A punish loadout. A heavy sniper can punish you. The pump shotgun can set you back so much in a fight. He's looking to roll up on this guy who was pushed outside of the kind of riverway here up at Weeping Woods. He's going to have the natural elevation as well right now. He's just looking to cap off the material, though. He's got a lot of farming to still do here. But he has zone. It's not too much to worry about.
What I am worried about him is this is a little bit of a later rotation, right? You saw zone almost was fully closing. See what he's able to do. Snipe may be able to come through. He's tracking this player very, very well. Good usage of that tree there. Looking for the shot. And he is going to hit it there onto Snake. Class with the shot. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
No way. Tries to follow up with the back-to-back. It's not going to be enough there, but it's okay. The 4 points is going to be good enough for him. I actually am interested at the fact that he's not even going to get greedy for the material. He could have kind of pounced in there to get all the loot and all the resources. It doesn't matter. Here's a look at Kanata, who just rotated past Perplexity. The fact that he has this little bit of shield left, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Perplexity probably landed a couple shots. Or maybe it's the other guy who's kind of ghosting him here on the rotation right now. Interestingly enough, he's going to pick up the kind of fishing rod to kind of cap off the loot. Might as well at this point. Kanata is one who does not take the fights, okay? He does not take these kind of engagements, the risky ones. Just off of the gameplay that I reviewed from his opening weeks and just in general, some of his scrim practices, I noticed that he likes to rotate. He likes to play for good positioning and then capitalize on those points instead to help, kind of keep him relevant, which in these caliber of lobbies, it plays out. It plays out so well.
Yeah, and we've seen other players, more notable players, play that same kind of style, not being aggressive, waiting into the mid-game to get those eliminations like right now, right? We're transitioning still pretty early in the game, but Kanata has found out this player, and he's in a house, right, in Misty. So he's got that protection of those walls being built. They're already solidified. He doesn't have to worry about a third party. He's continuing to pressure there onto Trashy. There's another player nearby. He doesn't have to be careful about that. He also doesn't have the most effective HP here, but he's continuing this fight. He's continuing to pressure, and he's trying to get into this player's box. It's looking really, really good here for him. Wall gonna get taken, and that's gonna be a nice shot. 94 off. That player's 6 HP, but unfortunately endless. Not able to get out, but there's another player right nearby.
Let's talk about great reads, right? He saw the drawn-out kind of builds here and how players are scrambling around off the fresh builds, and that was enough for him to recognize weakness here. So good read of the field right now. I mean, now he's got everything he needs for endgame. He's got the Elim as well to kind of cap him off. Let's see here with Nexi, who's pushing up on TF. Is this his fight? I mean, it looks like an easy one. Good job on him to take the cone instantly. Sets up the ramp boost as well. And he's being so aggressive. Will he get punished for it? Nexi, by the way, got TF on the back heels. He's going to go ahead and take the cone there now as well. Puts the ramp in the base. This is such good pushing. The fresh edits. Oh my gosh. TFTI gets taken out, and he gets rewarded with a second launch pad now. Nexi, by the way, is sitting so good for this game one.
Very, very, very good pressure. Every time there was a wall placed, he broke it down. He was in the box. He was right on top of the other player there, and it was just very, very good. Sniper shot almost connecting here for Vexy, but not going to connect just yet, as you see a lot of other players around him. Got to be careful with that heavy sniper. If they know that you're around them, they're going to play a little bit differently. They're going to try to take opportunities if you're looking at a heavy snipe. So you see him just kind of sitting, just kind of waiting right now. Now looking for picks as he feels a little bit more safer after those builds solidify. But in a good spot, already won elimination, got one placement point as well. Loadout looks great here from Vexy. We'll see how he does in the end game.
And then remember, guys, when I referenced game one, this is the second one we're casting over, but this was the game that set up the leaderboard that we just kind of looked at coming into this. We saw players like Vexy in there. We saw these names kind of, making their statement, their claim here at the start of the competition. As the day goes on, we will continue to cover everything as it unfolds and try to give you guys the full look, the full story. Talk about that, though. Vexy trying to land a heavy snipe. He's not going to find it. There's 66 players in this game, Clay. This is such a stacker right now. Slow pace.
Yeah, we'll see how it shapes up. I mean, we had Storm Surge over in EU. We'll see if we get it over here in NA East in week 2. It'd be interesting to see how some of the players that are not used to playing stack lobbies deal with it, right? You see elite scrims, those players got to be able to deal with Storm Surge. They know how to get the tags. The people that came through the open track, people that came, through that and the console track as well, maybe not able to deal with it as effectively.
Yeah, and this is very, very much reminiscent of as the game one kind of played out, where you don't see Storm Surge in week 1 as much as in the top 70, but when you approach the top 50, that's where you get to see it, and it doesn't matter. Donnie's going to get straight taken out right there by Vexy with a great heavy snipe. There's so much loot in the water, and this is another kind of temperament from Vexy here. He could have jumped in and grabbed all the loot. He doesn't care. Instead, he's going to play for positioning now, take that as a small victory, and go ahead and rotate on. It's the second time we've seen that now where someone could have looted, but instead play it much safer here. As Mass G is in a very peculiar kind of location of the map, just off of the water here. He's got to cross the lake all the way now. Someone is kind of situated up on the mountains firing in. I like that he's going for the landmass, though, instead. Pushing across old builds here, making his way. Slowly but surely running out of material right now as well. He's expending a lot here to kind of cut, but it's worth it. I mean, he's going to get safety here soon. Great shots by him to open up this fight here. It's Bryce who gets hit down to barely anything now. Mass G, all you got to do is set up to kind of push into the box, and yeah, there it is. He's got the ramp behind him. You know he's getting in. Oh my gosh, it was so close for him, but he's going to have enough to bounce back here.
And safety for him is an elimination there. He got the siphon. He's got decent more mats than he had before. He's in zone as well. He stopped that pressure onto him. He's upgraded his loadout as well. Everything looking really good here for Mass G. And, you know, he's got extra mats as well. What I'm worried about is zone more than likely going to pull across that lake, and he's going to have a very hard time rotating.
Play from the second zone till now, only 4 players have been eliminated. 3 of which we casted on the stream, just showing you how delicate the kind of, you know, the situation is right now, how people are playing very slow right now. The stakes are so high for the players in the lobby right now, for these competitive players. Just look at the zone right now, the scatter on how many players are kind of prioritize the middle of the zone here to see if they can get the 4th. 30 seconds, we will find out how far they will have to move moving forwards. Here's Mega looking over at the canvas, at the landscape. Misty Meadows is heavily populated right now. You can see the player outlines in all the houses. My gosh. The residency that's taking place here in Misty Meadows is crazy.
And it's interesting to see how the hill is going to play into this game as well. We'll see how it affects the end game and late game moments there. Mega in a really good spot to catch next zone, and we'll see if he does. He is actually not going to, but this should be a relatively easy rotate for him due to the lack of people already inside of the zone.
So here's the question you have to make. Does he use this opportunity to get deep, get like center, or just kind of sit here and play the 50-50? Play the half in, half out. I know the like general rules, you don't move on 4th zone, but you know the congestion is going to be right on top of him, so that's going to be an interesting dynamic coming in. We'll see how it kind of works out as we talk about that. Look at all the players cutting across the field. I saw Emad already joining the likes of Mega up top the hill. Doxy's going to find the 99 shot to crack open this fight here, and he's going straight phase all the way through. He's getting in the box. Nice little axe play there. Pulls the shotgun out. He's going to find Astonish. Bye-bye.
And honestly, that was a beautiful play there from Doxy. Just textbook got in, he used that boost in, and just took him down, and Astonish was not ready for it. And you see, he's not in zone. You know what? Didn't he want to use the extra mats that he had there? Deciding to go more into zones, I think, than we saw Mega did. Gonna hug a little bit of the edge, but what I'm interested to see is if zone pulls to that eastmost side by the bridge, everybody in this lobby is essentially gonna have to rotate. We'll see what they decide to do. Class being a little bit of a mountain goat here, looking for a snipe. Will he hit a second one here as he's sliding on down the mountain? Decides against it as he's trying to get in. In that edge zone play, we see it kind of typical here for competitive players, but like Monster said, is that center zone and 4th zone a little bit better here? We'll see momentarily.
This is one of the weird ones where elevation plays a part in it, so it's hard to kind of take a claim, but regardless of what, Class is in a prime situation to hold players out. He's got the mountain in his benefit, and he's got a bunch of players who's down below him that have to cut up. Love that he's protecting his kind of angles here. He is the kind of the lining. He is the silver lining of safety here, and just the fact that there's a player in that base right there, he knows that he has to focus up in there. That's going to be the freebie, and there's another one in there. Can he find this one as well? 99 is going to connect. Class already has 2 eliminations. He's trying to find a 3rd here. So I see the feed. Mac would go down. Funk goes down. Those are, you know, Funk barely qualified in. He barely made it through. So him getting taken out right now, he's off to an off footing right now. What's it going to be for players like Funk? What is his destiny here? The solo division. I mean, we know he qualified for World Cup, so he has what it takes to be a top tier. Is the current state of the game in his favor right now or not? We'll find out. Here's Emad. He's got the half in, half out, so it does pull kind of southern. This is pretty nice. So we know players like Mega are going to be close to the safety here.
Yeah, we'll see how they end up dealing with it. Emad in an interesting spot. He isn't half in, half out.
Turn my music.
Worried about it as Emad's trying to get some beams out of the air here, maybe pick up elimination, but fortunately for him, he's wasted almost all his AR ammo on those shots.
And he knows it. Now he's going for the fight, and it's going to be successful. He catches Berserker off guard, who was looking off in the other direction, and now he gets rewarded. More floppers, more ammunition, more builds as well to keep him in the game right now. Emad is off to a phenomenal track right now. Just look, how many players still have to make a move here? Players like Class, who just barely squeaked their way through. He's got the heavy sniper. He's ready to set it up, and it is going to be successful. It's the 100. The whites from the follow-up. He's jumping in. He's fully committed right now. He's not going to let this one go, no. Even if it means giving up his positioning here. He's jumping in those boxes, Clay. Oh, my. He finds it. It's Nexy.
Jumped in every single box. We've talked about before. Piece control was so good there from Class. He just, every opportunity that he could get a build of the other players, he did. And most of the times, he just ran through him. He didn't care if he got him. Didn't care if the other player got him. He was just running through Nexy and his builds. As you see Nate Hill up there. So Funk and Nate Hill were in the same game. Nate able to stay alive here towards the end. As Zone is going to pull to the northeast, that's going to go back up this mountain. Someone like Roller here is going to have to get really creative with his rotation.
Yeah, you might have to stick around and wait for a launch pad. 44 below the damage threshold right now. It would have to take it down to 30 players in the lobby. There goes the launch pad, but it looks like it was okay. It was not being guarded, not too well at least. So he's going to find his way. He's going to get that freebie here. Almost pulling a epic whale classic, trying to jump in someone's box, but it's okay. He kind of tempers himself. He backs off. That could have been a big elimination for him. Think about it. He has barely any ammunition, so he's got to fight right now. He's got to find something or let something come to him. Will it come to him? Let's see. Zexro is going to find Gush in the feed there. Things are really kicking up. I see Niddle falling now. Zeno's going to fall as well. Roller gets shot in the back here, Clay. This is not looking too good for him. He's going to need a big shot.
Going to need a big shot indeed. Is going to take time to pop those minis, and he's going to find a player's tarp open. Going aggressive. He does have that burst AR to get in. Shots coming through here momentarily, but not going to connect. This player holding him out in zone decided to drop all the way down on the low ground. Does have good amount of HP to make something happen, but it's dwindling by the second, just like his builds. There on the other side, he's trying to make the edit. Nice shotgun shot there, but unfortunately not going to track him enough. But he does end up actually taking down Nate Hill. We just talked about how he was alive. Unfortunately, that quick elimination going to send him back. As he's going to find a player on the backside, not paying attention. That's going to be another one going down, and another one in his box. Will he be able to pick it up? And he does. He picks up 3 eliminations just like that, back to back to back.
It's Ghoul, it's Flaws. These are all players, all adding to the count here now. Can Roller get another one? He is. He's on fire right now. He's just barely squeaking out of this one, staying alive. Someone bailed him out right there. Roller's on fire. He's rolling through the lobby quite literally right now. And take a look. Just look at how active he is right now. I think he's really feeling it now. The momentum's high. The adrenaline must be even higher than that. He's just pushing through. All those elims and only 4 builds, so he's still desperate here for more. He's going to find Trashy. He needed this. And the flopper find now, too. So he's still in the game. He's going to find a Surffish. These are all crucial elements to success right now. He's so into it, he forgets to pick up the gold pump right now.
And you talk about crucial elements of success. That was one of them. The legendary pump not going to be picked up. We'll see how he ends up dealing with it. Zone going up this mountain just a little bit. He's hoping it pulls back down. I don't think it will. We're going to see where it goes. Shots coming through. Unfortunately, everyone's going to know he's there. He's going to go down. Roller getting rolled over. His Class going to pick up dirt, by the way, as that's a good elimination. Gets a lot of mats there that he can work with. Also has 3 floppers in his inventory, so he should be good to stay in zone for just a little bit longer. He does have 2 more remaining after that pop. See who's going to be able to get out, maybe make a play towards high ground. You see him trying to look for this elimination. There's someone trying to hold him. His own shot's coming through. That's going to be elimination from Class. Now sitting on 7 eliminations. He's getting pressured, though. Has to be careful. Needs to pop this flopper, and he does. He does have a bandage bazooka there if he wants to pick it up. I don't think he's going to. Trying to get the elimination. He's not going to get it. Legendian is going to go down to zone, and that's going to cost him a lot of HP.
And remember, for every elimination that happens right now, he's getting more placement points. He is at 7 elims right now, having a monstrous game. I saw Mega in the feed there, too. So this is kind of crazy. He's actually sliding down the mountain. Tabs and Ubel are fighting for height, and they're trying to see who's going to be the king of the high ground. It's Tabs. He takes a little bit of fall damage, and Class is going to be able to read the sound on that one. 99 from the low. Who's going to find the one shot they need? It's all it takes here as Tabs slides off the mountain, and Class gets the victory with 3 HP, Clay. Barely, but 3 HP was enough.
3 HP was enough. That was absolutely insane. Coming down there to the zone tick, taking out the last player. Oh, way, way, way too close.
Guys, that was a great second game, all right? There's a few things I want to talk about here. We got to talk about Class. Great victory out with 8 eliminations. And then Roller. Both of these players, what they had in common was every time something stood in their way, whether that be a player, whether that be lack of resources, they were so focused. They knew what they needed to do to get through and keep moving forward. Roller ended up there with, I believe, 4 eliminations at 10th place. And I mean, in 10th, top 10 is pretty good, all things considered, especially when you're looking at a lobby like Zexro, Nate Hill, Funk Bomb, Mega. Like, that's a pretty good start for both of these players, Monster.
What made it so impressive is the fact that Roller didn't have much, but catching Nate Hill, catching Ghoul, and then following up with Flaz right after that, that was a lot. Those are like crucial elims, all within a tight time frame. So very, very intense. Look at your leaderboard, though. Class, just off the elims alone, propels up all the way to the top. The Victory Royale kind of cakes it all off there.
Taking a look here, we see Jemper, right? Like, this is why the other, this is why these two are at the top, right, Clay? Like, we get to see kind of both perspectives, both games, almost simultaneously.
You are right, indeed. But that Victory Royale being the difference, you saw both 8 eliminations, that really separating them. We go down here, we see Roller there in 19th. After that game, 4 eliminations, 28 total points. So a really good game there for him to set him up into getting towards top 80 by the end of the day.
And think about it. Ghoul gets it taken out, but those 3 elims, you show how crucial, how beneficial it is to catch a couple frags. He's in 12th place right now, setting himself up really nicely, as is Legendian looking good here. Here's Commandment, someone that we really want to keep an eye out. Players like the Uzi, who have really been coming up. This is his time to shine. There's a lot of new names that are using this solo kind of format to really dominate, come out on top. See a lot of good names here in the top 30, a lot of kind of recognizable faces. Roat, right? Aguilar, Hornets. Things are looking really, really good so far here in the NA East region to kind of kick things off.
We'll take a look at 80th right now. That cutoff is only 10 points. We're not that far in. It's only been a handful of games here that we are talking about. Now, of course, someone that you just mentioned to me is Commandment. This guy, not 1 week ago, in his first day, was 100 points. That is 1-0-0 ahead of second place. So if he were to have a repeat performance like that, he could be far and away the number 1 player coming out into grand finals. But there's still a lot to look at and a lot to unpack. Gentlemen, thank you guys for coming on. This cast were great. Love that you guys were part of it. What we need to do, though, right now is we do need to go to a break. So for you guys watching, a couple things before we do go. Don't forget FN Competitive. Great place to keep up to date on all things competitive for Fortnite in 2020. That is the best place to keep up to date with all things FNCS Invitational, things we're posting, plans, the likes. Please key into that. Of course, don't forget to send Monster and Clay both some follows. These guys are incredible. They are amazing. Please, you need to do that. But of course, Fortnite fan, with that being said, we are going to go to a break. When we return, we'll be back with Bala TW, we'll be back with Shy Wager, and we will be back with more of these games, and of course, more NA East. Thanks so much, Fortnite fan. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
Weird, man.
He wants me, bro. Fuck off. Stop it.
Yeah, he's about to full send it on you after seeing her. Wow.
Incredible accuracy, dude. I gotta be careful. This kid could fucking heavy snipe in or some weird shit.
Oh, just be careful about your mats. You see decent mats for like 50.
Yeah. Is there a guy in there?
Maybe. We can every snipe it, find out. Oh.
Fuck, that should have been easy.
I reckon you try and save your pads for 50-50 on moving.
Yeah.
Unless you're like forced to use it to fourth.
Yeah, what if I get cucked on zone, dude, and have to burn all my mats?
Yeah, I don't know. Going to baller?
I'm down.
You're getting the zone trust.
This just gonna pull half and half over the river, dude.
Mashallah.
Oh. Aw.
I told you.
That's pretty shit. Just have to wait for somebody else to rotate.
Maybe try and heavy snipe some of that insta rotates or something, I don't know. Maybe just wait for someone to build for you.
You can go behind that guy that's rotating. He's probably going behind somebody else. Just wait a bit. Oh, nice.
Fuck, should I go that way?
You could go behind that guy.
Yeah.
Go
south
behind
now.
that
Yeah,
kid.
go there.
Yeah, go behind the wood.
Nice, that's good.
Yeah. Careful behind you. Yeah. Should be fine. Should be free rotate.
Fuck is this guy?
Just keep running, it's good.
Yeah. Oh, that was the guy you heavy sniped with graphic kid, I think? Pretty sure that was him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm still.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You're in there.
Good metal. You good? Oh, big when you can.
Yeah, this guy underneath he's got a heavy sniper though, so be careful.
Yeah, he might try heavy sniping your box or something. Left light. Oh, no, really.
You got pretty bad bats, but you got 2 bats, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
You need to find like an impact frag in like first ring or something.
Can we just ding in the cone? If you're gonna go there, try to break the cone below you maybe. Yeah. Nice.
God, my ping is so beat.
Is he even there?
Does he know you're there?
Pretty sure it's an open header, right? Actually, yeah, he does. He's rotated.
I just need to not get shit town.
That's chilling. Just had this zone and then zone after.
You think I should pad this?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Jump straight to it. We've got Trashy on screen here at Risky Reels. And he's going to be pulling up at the middle portion of his run today, this evening of his 10 games. And this is where things start to get less experimental. This is where people start to serious up a little bit. But there's also a clash between people who are fighting aggressively and trying to play passive for the end game.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of that all around. And right now, this is an early game fight. Trashy against Nick. And we'll see. There's an RPG in play. Trashy trying to get in, though. Very aggressive on this first box. And I'm seeing a wood 1-by-1. Not a lot of space gain from Nick at all as that high ground play instantly went on the backside. And there he finally starts to get a little bit of space. But is he out of materials? This might have happened a little too early for him.
And now he is on the forefront of the fight, has the advantage. But you have to remember, we've seen it go so many ways time and time before. Nick gets taken out.
On the side of it, it's going to go all the way down. They're in the same box. Rogue Shark, very low HP, and there's a third party, even two. And if this spam stays, he might be done for before we even really look at this. Dives into the bush, though. Moment of calm for him because he has room to work with.
He's trying to let that room speak bounds because right now there's no more materials left. The bush is the only thing that kind of hides him from anyone else. He has been discovered, but it doesn't matter. Gets a few mats available to be able to push away from the last person available in these boxes. Although it is Newell who he started fighting, it'll also be Newell who's left overall. But Shark now has perspective to land a few shots. The boat is the desperation play for Newell to get away, and I think he just does. Zoom all the way through. No, Shark had the beam down, picks it up, and I don't know. Good decision or bad? He probably could have waited it out a little bit more.
He must not have had any materials or something. I don't know. He tried to make a crazy escape. But that does not work against Rogue Shark, who has some of the best aim in the game. And now he's going to be able to disguise himself, head right back to the yacht, and get the rest of the loots. We've seen a name that had an early game fight. Tfue took out Lyrison and then went out in this game. So we're looking the Shark now for another engagement. This is off to the side even. So wondering if the card, if the grappler, this guy's AR are even a thing right now for the engagement.
Right now, Plague's drip check is 100%. Big true, big looking good too. The combination of backbling and skin, but his shot beat that same level of caliber. Looking for a little bit on the low ground right now though. And you got to remember, these early fights, you have a lot of time to play with, but it's time that you could also be using to rotate later on. To kind of balance, and he gets tagged up from the back. It'll be Fish who gets it, but Cyril's there to third party. Still going to have the low ground, though. Now Fish is going to be up into the same position he was before. No shields, though, this time.
And that's definitely... I think this is one of the most awkward fights I've ever seen at the Shark because of how far away it is from the actual main POI. Same thing happened over towards the yacht, too. Kind of on one of the side islands. Does this player have what they're all looking for here at the Shark? Did he grab the grappler and just go out to a safe spot? Who knows? It is a storm fight that will unfold in front of us for Fisher and the player down below. And this could go for quite some time.
It just seems unnecessary other than just the 4 points, but like, how many more are you losing out on risking your entire game on one elimination? Doesn't make too much sense to me, especially you keep mentioning, where is Sky's AR? Where is the grappler? On none of these players. Did someone already just run away with it? Like we saw that happen in Europe multiple times. Now we're at a complete standstill. Going to be running down these 100 HP health pools. Could have been Big 60 who's in this game, maybe. Lance Shark, he could have walked away with it.
Yeah, he grabbed it and just bounced really quickly.
Yeah.
Big 60 obviously had one of the best performances on day 2 last weekend. In this game, he's nowhere to be found, and nowhere to be found is also what I could say for these guys' game and tournament run right now, because if this is what we're going to be engaging with, I don't know how much longer we're going to last. 10 points for Fisher, 0, I'm not sure.
I mean, where do you have to be in the mindset or in your point total to do this at this point in the game?
I mean, it's kind of different, right, for both people. I think that there's a party here who is like, I can't make it out anyways. Let me get an elim before I go down. And there's the other guy who's like, hold on, I'm actually trying to win this. Please let me go. But curious that there's no pressure being put down at all from Fisher. Not a single one, and he's down to 6 builds. Maybe a reason if he does leave, there's really nothing he can do if he decides to just start shooting at him. And he's already down now. He makes it work, though. 1 shot. 1 elim for Fisher on high ground, and he's going to be able to bounce right back over towards the Shark. But so many questions about how this unfolded in the first place and where is it going from here, because, again, no Sky's AR, no Sky's grappler. Onto another fight here over closer to Risky Reels. It's Thwifo against Larson. This one is a little bit better as there's actual potential moving forward for position, and Larson starts things off big with a 71 tag. Thwifo, one of the best box fighters in the world, he does trade a little bit back to bring him off of the 200 HP, and now also considering possibly phasing in this box. The fish was there, but the nice phase trick from Thwifo. He can get through the stairs. I don't think he realizes. On the backside now, Thwifo has the wall, has control, has the right angle, peeks, and he's making Larson pay for this. Down now to 75.
These guys are caught in a crossroads between Risky Reels and Frenzy Farm, and it's just one big toss of the dice to see who actually moves forward past this fight. That being said, a third party is there, another person on the offensive, and it's Thwifo that takes the big hits now. Wall to wall, he's going to have to find these edits to try and survive. He can't, and Larson is the one to press on the advantage that was given to him by that mysterious individual. It was Vic Zals who starts to move in once again to maybe possibly take this fight over on Larson. That being said, look at what's happening. A repeat performance. Deja vu as 2 more people come in from the storm towards Frenzy and Risky. If these guys do not finish this fight quickly or disengage, they could have their games ended by these Stormholders.
I think too, and I'm seeing a lot of people right now engaged in these fights who almost certainly haven't gotten many placement points because they're still in the multiples of 4 range, or multiples of 2 as well. Although, definitely got at least 1 point in this game. Larson still on the aggressive, though. He's not letting this go. Visuals is the other player here. He did already take out Thwifo, but hold on. The harpoon in, but he gets punished. Visuals with the 20-20 right there, and he's going to roll all over him. Well played on an aggressive player when Visuals is basically just knocking and investigating, seeing if there was room for anything, but then all of a sudden, Larson was having none of it. So you're going to knock on my door. I'm not going to let you go.
One person who was not let go last time, Booga, at that weather station, we saw him fall. This time, the sky's looking clear. He's all the way up at those misty mountains. That being said, in solos, you can see kind of the differential of where people are set up, how people move around. It's surprising and not that orthodox, not that typical, because there's another person all the way up on this mountain already this early into the game looking for tags, and at the same time, there's people watching him move over, taking shots at him. A playstyle that he coined, Bala, is now being used against him, these early rotating shooters.
And it is Agers on the backside of that. He's going to back away. Booga found himself probably one of the best positions in the game so far, and he has that mythic heavy AR to work with. Something to note, we remember that he fell in that first game early on at the weather station, but now he's at 43 points. And it's because of decisions like this, so he must have had a fantastic game 2 out of that first early off-spawn elimination. We'll see how he can actually propel himself even further, because 43 points right now is actually in contention for the top of the top.
He has to boost up, though, because every time we've seen Booga in a tournament or in a place of qualification, when he starts to get into the lead, into that middle of the pack, he thrives and makes those big highlight plays. when he's 20, 40 points ahead of the competition.
He's a momentum player. He's a feeling player. He's not somebody who thinks too much, doesn't get too deep in his thoughts. But when he does, that's kind of when he struggles. But you see from World Cup, you see from other tournaments where he performs very well. It's those first couple of games can set the tone for Bugha. And right now, he did come second place with 4 elims in his second game after that first soft spawn elimination. Now, if that's the case, we could see a couple more second place or even victory royales from Bugha if he's really, really feeling the groove.
We had that mid-game lull, though. People now more in tune with shooting shots rather than getting into those big box fights. Airdrops that we haven't seen too much action around or with are going to be the prime focus for FaZe Benny over here, but the agenda is similar for multiple people as a fight breaks out for this easy launch pad. It's Has the Great, who's going to be dropping down, a man who resided at that Shark last season for the longest amount of time of the FNCS, this time switching things over already all the way at Retail Road. He's actually going to be on the back end of Benny's big brain baiting plays, letting him get closer to that airdrop on his own wall edit, and then easily taking Has out as he was surrounded by builds that were not his.
I think a big part of that actually was the vision blocking what Has the Great could see, so he wasn't able to track where Benny went. Maybe thought that he went down instead of out and to the left, so giving himself the room right on that wall. Benny takes that fight and nets himself a drop, and also a side of a mountain over by Retail Row. Things looking good.
There's the opposite, though. It's where people have to rotate from, not to. Lazy Lake will have people kind of re-farming what they've used to get to this point from the storm. Trying to re-heal up as well. Did hear a bandage cannon be shot and used. Arab now, in combination with Elige and Smalzy, are all going to be box to box, and it just looks like there's going to be a huge explosion of damage coming up in a few seconds.
It looks like we're watching Fourth Zone when everybody's waiting for the launch pad, essentially, to go forward on how people are moving right now. Arab in a fight with Smalzy. Bizzle on the backside of this. He's third-partying as well. Arab's going to clean that up. A couple tack shots. And finally, the time for Elige to move, but tries to get right on top of him with the tack shot, or the SMG. It's not working, but then big tags. Arab has nothing left because of the way that this build structure works. And is this going to be a third? No. I thought it was going to be a third back-to-back as cleanup crew is on duty, but he does make it away. Bizzle now taking shots, but everybody rotating in side to side. Thresh, one of those players who consistently does this. You remember all the way back in trios, in squads, constantly playing this edge zone and playing aggressive with it, and it works for Thresh.
Yeah, and he's in the same spot that Arab was in, which is ironic because these guys practice so much together day in and day out. He'll look to get those build refreshes off of his now eliminated dual partner, carry on that legacy, hopefully, from winning this game, because you can see on the right side of your screen those placement points. That victory nets you 33 total points. Right now, these guys are already in to that point breakdown, almost the top 60, top 50 left alive. There is the man that we talked about earlier to Big 60, who did actually escape with both of Sky's AR and Grappler, and he's using it to take out big names. Kaz just traded like a bot who's never played the game before, taken out in just a mere instance.
You talk about Arab's former teammates. There you go. Kaz was so strong in squads and so strong in every single FNCS that he's played with since then. Playing with Crimson duos. But man, we got to talk about Big 60 for a second, because this is a guy that really is turning heads, at least for the console community. Kind of a pioneer and somebody hearkening back to the days of Aiden, where he played on console, switched to PC, and then was able to compete against top-tier competitors. Same thing happened here, and people doubted him with his switch off of Combat Pro to Builder Pro. Doubted his mechanics against players that have been experienced in stacked games for a long time on PC and mouse and keyboard. So he's kind of a stalwart for the console players right now.
Yeah, he's an absolute wild card in these games as well, and it's because of his aggressive playstyle that I think he has an advantage. The man literally does not care. He wants to get in your box. Like, you know, I called Kaz just kind of looking absolutely clueless. That man is one of the best defensive players in Fortnite when it comes to box fights. And just the way Big 60 plays off on an advantage, there's no hesitation. It makes people who are still some of the goats of playing get taken out immediately. Right now, we're going to be seeing that Fort Zone actually, or the Fort Zone effect actually come into full circle here. We mentioned it before in that third circle towards Lazy Lake. This time it's going to be everyone waiting around this mountain towards the north side of the circle, the south side of Retail Row. And his mats are looking tragic. There's no wonder he's looking box to box for a certain moment, an elimination, anything to try to find a way to rotate.
And you're talking about that, and this is a decision that he made way earlier in this game, both him and Visuals. You think about other players who've made positional decisions. Up on the mountain, you remember Booga, you remember Stretch. English is hard. They were positioned up on the mountain in spots to take shots on people, but also this one specifically, and they've gotten fourth zone. They're already here, and you talked about jumping in the box. Tragic's is trying to do that, but it's tragic as the player escapes, and now he might be on the side, but no, I spoke too soon. As City gets taken out and gives Tragic's an extra breath of life in this game.
I mean, that's just the process when you're playing this type of way. To us, when we tune in halfway through what these guys are doing mid-game, it looks like shambles. This is planned. It's expected. You want to get crazy and get in these boxes super aggressive when you are rotating, going for these early shots, because that's the only thing you can do. Now, back-to-back, Lupien goes down. That's one of the top console players from the last FNCS duels as well. I believe placed top 3 in those grand finals. Now it'll be Tragic's taking both those souls moving forward in this icy snowland of Retail Row Mountains.
But look who it is. Wiggs, who we know drops over towards Retail Row, has the best position. Possibly has been sitting here for quite a long time. He's actually out positioned Booga and not Stretch. I don't know why I was talking about Stretch. We're talking about Agers, actually, on the backside of Booga, if you remember them exchanging shots earlier on. And he's going to find Sis Lucky, who looks like he was completely out of materials. And oh, a big grab from the harpoon. Wiggs finds another launch pad, and that's going to be key because guess what just happened? He just got fifth zone, and same with Big 60. And every time we tuned in with him in the week 1, he was up here in fifth zone with a great position.
And I'll just look at who are going to be those people contesting for height. We've got Big 60 and Wiggs, Mega moving over as well. I think he just flashed over an RPG possibly if moving forward onto those builds time and time again. Booga's in zone. Colorful, who we haven't seen in such a long time, is gamertag Color now, is going to be elevated in mid-ground as well. But this is the effect, once again, of not only playing those mountain-to-mountain beam early games, but at the same time diving box to box. When you're rotating through these mountains afterwards, you're not going to have that many materials left, but it doesn't matter. It's Cease that gets taken out by Tragic's. This man is on a roll, but not only is he getting eliminations, he's affecting so many games. Each and every single box, he's just ending journeys here halfway through the competition.
And something I'm noticing is that he has to actually do that again. He just took out Cease, but there was only 20 builds, so Cease also shambles. Not really gaining anything for Tragic's, even though he did get the elim. Got the point, got the loot. Only Siphon Mats at fifth zone is not going to bring you much more. And here's another player, Milks. Because they've had to climb this mountain, expedition of great lengths. He's down to 12 builds as well, and I think we might be seeing a lot more jumping in each other's boxes if the average player that we're tuning in only has 12 builds.
12 builds and 6 points as well, so you're going to have to find any type of way to get those eliminations rolling first before anything else. And right now he has a lot of opportunities to land pump shots, but chooses instead to heal himself up. Maybe not knowing when to go for eliminations all the way through. I actually spoke way too soon. He picks up a big elimination onto Dragon, who had some of the best loot I've ever seen possible in a solos Fortnite game. As we move over, though, a lot of these players are not taking damage or getting big shots in box to box. They've already had their games developed. They're already based up. They're waiting for that zone to move.
We are going to be looking at Booga, the World Cup champion himself. And again, we talk about his performances since then, and he hasn't been able to rise up to the top where he wants to be. He's talked about his performances multiple times. Now, he doesn't feel like he can perform up to his standard. He's going to be trying that today. 45 points so far. That's got to be leading the pack, and there's a big frag to start things off in this endgame. But 38 builds. We saw a massive game from him in the Cash Cups recently. He's going to dive right on top, and yes, another one. Not to who. And backup materials-wise, he misses a launch pad, but finds another. And perfect. The bounce might have looked scary, but he finds himself almost perfectly on a mid-ground layer.
And this is the best position to be in, looking like he never missed a beat on where he had to be this game, especially near the end of it, on where to get eliminations, where to stay safe. Right now, though, no white heals means he needs to find some type of siphon from anyone else, and if he does, that's a possibility of floppers. And we all know what happens when you combine Bugha with floppers. You end up getting a big victory royale, especially at this point in the game. Right now, though, looking for any shots box to box. It's all up to this man's rotations, brain, and game sense to push him forward. And he's going to be on the backside of zone, so high up, he's basically all in. Chips on the table. He's looking for this fight. Needs to win it in timely manner as well, because the zone's now on his back. Only 2 seconds he can spend inside of it. He's moving from lair to lair, but he's so high up. He's still going for it. Bugha connects once and then twice again. But now he has the big journey to drop so many layers and try to get towards the rest of the builds, the rest of the community who's also trying to survive and win this game.
This man is insane. Not only the piece control and another one, and he does it while not losing HP on the backside in so many situations where it looked like there was no way that he could build in time. Takes out AJ, but now 2 builds left. He's got to be careful if he drops one more time. But no, he realizes another player in zone is Mega. Bugha finds the floppers that she talked about finally for Mega. It's only 1, though. And zone goes so far, he's got to look for more. There's 1 more player in zone. He knocks a couple. And then another one misses the shots, but there's the siphon. Is there anything for him to do? Grappler, yes. Zone, how far is it? He's in. Oh my goodness, Bugha is making a clinic right now, and with the remaining mats, he makes 1 more box where he can now start to heal up.
No matter what's happening, even if statistically he's not supposed to survive a situation, this man is staying hyper-focused, playing like he has 2 brains in his skull, just so smart in decision-making on where to go, who to be next to, and which fight to take right now, is aware of everything, but does not have the opportunity to find the shotgun shot there. It's now going to be all up to visuals, Ghoul, and Bludge, and Bludge waits out in the storm as Ghoul picks up a big elimination now, a final 1v1 between these 2 players on a zone that is just absolute chaos. These builds causing, I wouldn't even say, an ultimate high ground to exist. These guys are going to try to drop down, edge in and around each other, and it's Bludge with a big swing of his tactical shotgun, taking out Ghoul as he tries to drop down. That's a huge shot. 5 eliminations for him, though. Although Bludge also won at 53 points. That was a game that had a little bit of everything in it.
That it did. I mean, Bugha with the eliminations and the way that he made it through. We saw a number of different players completely shambles on loot. I'm thinking visuals make it towards the ends from situations that we never thought possible. That was one that I got to go watch back to really see actually what unfolded, because there was too much to even watch in my mind.
There's quite a bit to unpack after that last game. I mean, not only did Bugha put on one of the craziest performances, but he put it on in one of the most stylish ways possible. Just disgusting edits while moving around tarps. This guy's game sense, Ball, is like on a completely different level, especially when put in a situation where at every moment it's like, you should be dead. You should be back in the lobby. You should be back in the lobby. And it's like, nope, nope, hold on, Zeke, not yet. I still have the slurp juice. Hold on, Zeke, right? Like, how's he pulling this off, man?
I think stylish is definitely the key word I would use to describe Bugha's play, but we are going to take a look at the Brazil Day 1 standings that is currently unfolding, so make sure you go check out what actually happened in this. Frosty is first place, and I think we've seen this tune before. 274 points and a nasty streak. He is 61 points above the pack.
And I'm not going to say it's because of his victory royales or his eliminations. It has to be the total package of what he's had to offer today. These are records for this region, I think, just for this portion of the competition all the way through. I saw Thome and Clipnote up there as well. 2 veterans who've been playing all the way since World Cup up to now and placing time and time again. On the second page, we can see the point breakdown and now see the differences in play style between people who have less eliminations, big points, less eliminations, and victory royales versus the people like Swutom, who's in 11th place, who has those big elims with those points to match as well.
I did misspeak. These are final, by the way. We're going to switch over and see the 3rd page of standings. They're going to play on day 2 tomorrow. And we'll also follow suit with that and see who comes out on top. There's Techno Viking in 21st so far.
Yeah, it's a name I haven't seen in a very long time, at least just from my eyes. I know he's probably been playing hard time and time again, but hey, shout out's one of the coolest gamer tags I've ever seen, and every time I see him on top of these Brazilian leaderboards, they're just, it brings a smile to my face. Going down, though, to 80th place, the pattern we're seeing from region or region is 90 points needed to qualify in total, or at least to be on a good track in day one in your first 10 games. A possible 180, 200-ish level to be comfortable when those 2 days end. But that's the big thing on everyone's mind all across the world who's playing in this competition. Where am I standing now after my first 10 games?
Let's not forget, there's actually two people that I wanted to call out there, Sheko and Pulga there. Those would be predictions and people to look out for from our boy Sundown. He's actually not feeling well today. So if you wouldn't mind just sending him a little, hey, hope you feel better today, man. That would be really he'd appreciate that. You should do that. It's very nice of you. All right, guys, we're getting ready to hop into the next game. So take it on over, Shy Wager and Bala TW.
And we've got Scoped in the driver's seat this time. All the way at the grotto. And this car, if we're talking about driver's seats, is moving so fast. Lethal almost, too, with the speed, because he's taking out these contesters. I won't even call them that. I would just say, you know, elimination point patterns at this point. I've never seen Scoped ever, like, have trouble off spawn. You know what I mean? Like, no matter who it is. Even if he just drops one game, it's like, it's a one and done. He's back in it, and he's up there in the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's something. At the grotto. I think that's how I'd put it. And over 10 games, it's like, yeah, you're right. One game